give you some understanding of how the word is used, which is why it's important to use many different dictionaries. You actually get a much better understanding of how the word is used. So if you are a foreign language learner and you are not using a dictionary, you are literally doing you're doing everything that you can to slow yourself down. And so please, you want to learn a language quickly, please do use a dictionary. Now, let's have a look at the pictures first of all. Here is the former Prime Minister of Great Britain. While some are calling on Theresa May, that's her name, while some are calling on Theresa May to put off the Brexit deadline, others are calling for an immediate withdrawal from the EU. Now, what do you think it means to call on somebody to do something? Does anybody know? What does it mean to call on somebody to do something? Any of my students know out there? I'll let a few more people speak just in case somebody new wants to say something. But who knows what it means to call on somebody to do something?
Hi, Dave. To demand.
Exactly.
To I don't know, an authority. To do something, right?
Yeah, exactly. It is to demand. It is to demand that somebody do something. I totally agree. It's demand that somebody do something. Notice the subjunctive there after demand. Demand that someone do something. Absolutely, very good definition. And what do you think how does it differ from to call for? It only differs grammatically, really. What's the difference? You know, they have a very similar meaning. So what's the difference grammatically?
Call for something. It's for the action, right? For the you can call for something, right? For an action, for something that you think it must be done.
Good. Yeah, absolutely. So you can call for something, or you can call on somebody to do something. Right. They both mean the same. They both mean publicly demand that something happens. Yeah, publicly demand that something happens. And so I've used these two phrasal verbs quite often recently. I think I was calling for the death penalty. Yeah, that's a good example. Or I was calling on the population to bring back the death penalty. Really, I'm just publicly demanding it. Yeah, I'm stating in public that is my position. And here in this sentence, we see that people are calling on the Prime Minister to put off the Brexit deadline, and others are calling for an immediate withdrawal. Okay, let's come on to the next picture. All trains calling at Pitsea, Leydon and Basildon have been cancelled. You can see exactly where I live from this example. The services have been called off due to leaves on the track. Would anybody else like to explain what calling at and or called off means? Anybody else out there? Because I'm going to let Massey if nobody else speaks.
Oh, me?
Go on, Massey. Nobody else is jumping in, so it's on to you. What do you think it means when a train calls at a station?
Yeah, I am at a loss with calling at, but yeah, to call off means to cancel.
Good, excellent.
But call at, maybe it's something related to trains, but I don't know. Maybe it means to, no, I don't know.
It is normally used with trains.
To state that there is this. No, I don't know.
All it means is stopping at. All it means is stopping at. All trains stopping at. Okay. No different from stopping at, calling at, stopping at, and it's used specifically for trains. You know, we would say stop at different stations, and you can say call at different stations, meaning visit briefly. Okay. But yeah, absolutely, calling at or stopping at. But you're absolutely right. Called off means cancelled. Okay, let's go on to the next picture. And if anybody would like to jump in, they're welcome to. If not, Massey will carry on for you. So have a look at the next one. The smell of paint stirs up memories of my childhood and calls forth emotions long forgotten. Anybody? What do you think we could do to stir up? Actually, it's on my board at the moment, to stir something up. What do you think to stir something up means? What do you think to call forth means? Okay, if nobody's out there, let's ask Massey. What do you think, Massey?
Okay. Yeah, to stir up, I think it's kind of to recall some memories, to bring back some memories.
Bring back memories. And, excellent. Conjure up memories.
Call forth means kind of to bring about.
Is
to
not bring
something to.
I wouldn't say bring about, just because anything can bring about anything. I mean, bring about is a very general word for cause. call forth,
Okay.
it is emotions, and it's usually emotions that are called forth, and it means that they're just brought to the surface, that so that
Yeah,
everybody
perfect.
can,
Okay.
everybody feels them, or everybody can perceive them in some way. So it's very similar to stir up, conjure up.
Conjure up,
What the
right?
other one? Stir something
Bring
up, conjure
back,
up,
right?
bring
They can
something
say this,
back.
bring
Yeah,
back memories.
bring back memories is very good. But I would say with emotions, it's when something calls forth emotions, it makes them appear. That's what it does. It makes those emotions appear. So yeah, the smell of paint makes me remember childhood emotions that are long forgotten. Okay. Okay, let's keep going on to the exercise. And please, guys, you are welcome to join in. Massey is actually one of my previous students. We've had many private classes together, so I am perfectly happy for Massey to carry on. He's doing a great job. I know he's got his... Have you got your CPE soon, Massey?
Yeah, right.
Did they put off
it's
your...
coming,
They put off your date, didn't they? They put off the date of the CPE for you, yeah?
they put off now. The date is for the 13th of November, so in 3 weeks, kind of.
Okay. Well, we all wish you luck in that, Massey. We all want you to
Yeah,
pass with
thanks.
flying colours.
Thanks.
Let's go on to the exercise then. And if anybody else would like to jump in for this first answer, just say. I've let lots of you. I've put you on allowed to speak. A lot of you. If you haven't, you can do that. Put your hand up thing, and I will allow you to speak. I promise. So I'll let Manso and Ulfar and Uliana and Sasha Goman. So the smell of paint. I do reuse the same example sometimes. Sorry about that, but it's just to really so that these words sink in. So the smell of paint has always called what? Memories of childhood. Anybody out there want to answer? Not Massey yet. Anybody else? Okay, Massey, go for it.
Maybe Manso. No, Manso.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Go on, Manso. Go on. Thanks,
No,
Massey.
Okay, I just joined in. Give me some time, please. Okay, I just joined in. So, okay, let me. I just open my out now. Okay, I need some time to digest the material. Yes.
Maybe you can do number two.
So which one?
Let's leave it for number two. Massey, what do you think for the first one? The smell of paint has always called...
To call forth.
Called forth, absolutely. Called forth memories of childhood. And I put this down to... Who remembers that one from yesterday, yeah? And I put this...
Oh, yeah. To ascribe a cause to something, right? To boil down, right? Kind of.
Very similar to come down to and to boil down to, but it's when you ascribe a cause to something.
Yeah,
when you just say it comes down to... Yeah, when you just... Yeah, when you just say it comes down to, it boils down to, then that means it ultimately depends on, or it's ultimately caused by. That's really what it means. It's ultimately caused by. But I put this down to the fact means I think this is because. Yeah, I put this down to the fact means I think this is because.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I put this down to the fact that my parents would paint our fence every summer. So the whole garden reeked of the stuff. Reek of, stink of, very often used with corruption. Yeah, reeks of corruption.
To give off, right? To give off some smell, kind of.
Give off a smell, yeah, when it means emit a gas. Usually that's when a gas is often given off, although light can be given off as well. It's very often used in chemical reactions when a gas is given off. You know, it's when a gas is produced by the reaction. Okay, so the whole garden reeked of the stuff. Yesterday, my mother called in, and then we got the missing preposition, and then me. So not Massey this time, somebody else. Who's ready for this one?
Yesterday, my mother called in.
No ideas?
Maybe two.
Not,
Golden two.
Yeah, maybe two.
No, not two, I'm afraid, Uliana, not two. And it's just because... Good. Called in on me, yeah. Not upon. Somebody has just said upon on YouTube. Not upon here. You couldn't use called in upon me. Nobody says that. Everybody says call in on somebody.
On?
So it's on, it's to call in on somebody. I can actually write the answers in if you fancy, guys. So called forth for this one. called in on me for this one. Yeah,
Yeah.
to call in on somebody means to pay somebody a flying visit. Yeah, call in on somebody, pay somebody a flying visit. And remember that we say, remember that we do say to drop by, pop by, call round. Yeah, there are loads actually. Drop over. That all mean the same as call in on somebody, but they don't have the somebody there. It's just I dropped by, I dropped round, I popped over, I popped by, I popped round. We've got loads of them. Okay, who would like to go for the next one? Wanting to call a favour.
Call in a favour.
Very good. Yeah, when you call in a favour, and this is a collocation really, I don't think it's similar to call somebody in. Although, well, it is similar, but not quite the same. If you call in a plumber or call in the police or call in an electrician, that's when you ask them to come to your house to give you some kind of service, to provide some kind of service for you. But when you call in a favour, it just means that that person has already... you've already done a favour for that person, and so that person owes you a favour and you are calling it in. You can also call in debts for exactly the same reason. Yeah, if somebody owes you money, you can call in a few debts. You can call in that debt, meaning demand that that debt be paid. But yeah, call in a favour, demand that that favour be repaid. So you can call in a favour or you can call in debts, okay? And they're collocations, really. Okay, so she had been looking after the kids most evenings, so I couldn't turn her down. Who knows what turn her down means?
Oh, it means to refuse a job, to kind of reject an offer.
Excellent, excellent. It's reject an offer. And remember, it's kind of the opposite of take somebody up on an offer. Because we do have that phrasal verb. Take somebody up on an offer or turn somebody down, but we don't say on an offer, we just say turn somebody down. Yeah, and you can turn something down or somebody down. Yeah, when somebody makes you an offer, you can turn them down, but you can even turn down the thing that's offered. Yeah, maybe they offer you, I don't know, a higher salary and you turn the salary down. You turn that higher salary down. So you can do it with something or somebody. Okay, she told me that her fence was in terrible condition and the situation called urgent action. So anybody, maybe not Massey, somebody else? I just think he knows it. Sorry, Massey. Anybody else?
No, yeah.
I will ask you, though, if everybody else is shy.
Just in case.
What does everybody else think for the situation called?
Maybe Manson. I think Manson is kind of
Okay, sorry,
pop a finger up. It's kind
okay,
of
yeah, okay. Let me allow Manan first, just because Manan hasn't said anything. So what do you think, Manan? You've got your hand up.
Call in.
Has called in urgent action? I'm afraid not. It's not called something in here. It's not called it. Call in is for favour.
Call off Dave. Yeah.
Sorry, that's a very bad connection. I'm afraid you've got there, Ulfar. I can't hear what you're saying. Let's.
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't hear.
Call off.
Call.
Call off Dave.
It's not called off. I'm afraid it's not called off because called off is cancel.
Oh.
When you call off the lesson, you cancel the lesson. When you call off the meeting, you cancel the meeting. So it's not called off. Let's.
I remember. Yeah.
Any other suggestions?
Called for maybe urgent.
Excellent. I'm not sure who said that, but that's right. It is the situation called
for.
It's the situation called for urgent action. Yeah, demand, it needed, it necessitated urgent action. We say drastic times call for drastic measures. It's an idiom, it's a saying. Drastic times call for drastic measures. And it means, yeah, very difficult times necessitate, they require extreme measures. Yeah, and so drastic times call for drastic measures. It's a good way to remember call for. Okay, I went straight over to her house, grabbed the paint and brush from the shed and applied myself in earnest. When I was finishing off the last few panels, my mother went over all that I had done, calling me on every spot that I had missed. What do you think is the answer here, guys? Who would like to jump in? Oh, Ivan is putting his hand up. Ivan Pushkin, let's allow him to speak. What do you think, Ivan? Ivan?
think it's called out.
Sorry, was that a voice there? Who said that? Go on, Ivan.
Hi, I think it's
Say the whole thing. Say the whole sentence because I can't hear you very well here.
out.
You think it's called out, yeah?
Yeah, he said out.
Okay, thanks, Juliana. Your voice comes through really clearly on my speaker, and so it's really easy to understand. Sadly, sometimes it
Okay.
comes through really broken. You can hear how broken it comes through sometimes, but sometimes it comes through beautifully. And yeah, you're absolutely right. So it's calling me out on every spot that I have missed. And when you call somebody out on something, you let everybody know that they've done something wrong, that they've made a mistake, or they've committed some kind of crime maybe, but they've done something wrong. Okay, so well done, Uliana. Absolutely. Call somebody out on something. Now, if we've got time, we're only done 15 minutes. Let's go on to exercise 2, just to really make these cool phrasal verbs settle in, yeah, so that they sink in, so that you understand them completely. So his behaviour was totally unacceptable. So a number of MPs have called the minister to step down. What do you think is the right answer here, guys? Who would like to jump in?
4.
Excellent. They have called for the minister to step down, publicly demanded that the minister steps down. So call for can mean necessitate, or it can mean publicly demand. Okay? Number 2 now. The film is powerful and calls a number of intense emotions in the audience. What do you think this one is, guys? Let's let Human speak. Any ideas, Human? Or anybody else?
Calls for.
Very good, Nat. Very good. Calls for a number of intense emotions. Excellent. And your sound is coming through very nice. Number 3, the train calls. Do you want to go again, Nat? What do you think for number 3? The train calls or stops?
Call.
Go on.
Calls at.
Calls at. Excellent. This train calls at a number of stations, including West Ham and Barking. Okay, number 4. This one hasn't cropped up yet. This one hasn't come up. So let's have a look at number 4. What do you think for number 4? Anybody? Call the main menu and click on settings. Any ideas? Anybody? Anybody at all?
Oh yeah, I am at loss here. I don't know the answer.
This means to make something appear on your screen. Anybody know? Make something appear on your screen.
Maybe call out.
Not out, I'm afraid. Did anybody say a different answer?
Call up.
Call
No.
up, yes.
Call
Call
up,
up.
no.
Call up, yes, call up.
Ah, yes.
Call up the main menu and click on settings. When you call something up,
Yeah.
it appears on your screen.
But I was just guessing, so I think was lucky. I was lucky.
I see this as very similar to crop up, come up, turn up, show up, roll up, spring
okay.
up, sprout
Okay.
up. All 7 of those phrasal verbs, is that 7? Yeah, 7. All 7 of those phrasal verbs mean appear in some kind of way. So up very often means appear, yeah? Turn up, appear, show up, roll up. There are loads of them. Come up, crop up. Yeah, this phrasal verb cropped up in the last lesson. Or even spring up and sprout up. Yeah. So call up means make something appear on the screen, but it's still got that idea of appear. Okay, let's go on to number 5. Last night, she let us all in on a little secret. I hope you all know that one, yeah? To let somebody in on your secret. It means to let them join the secret, yeah? Let somebody in on something. It always means something clandestine, this in on. So she let us all in on a little secret. She's pregnant. Such news obviously called a celebration. Anybody? Nice, easy one. I think it's easy. Just because we've done it several times already today. What's the answer here, guys? Such news obviously called...
Called for?
Yes, very good, Human. Very good. Called for a celebration. Necessitated, demanded a celebration. So I popped to the supermarket. Pop to, pop down, pop over, pop by to buy some champagne. Okay, the Prime Minister has called the European to carefully consider the stipulations laid out in the trade agreement. Any ideas, guys? Who wants
Cool out.
Not call out here, not call out. It would have to be called the European Union out on their mistakes. It would have to be like that, but not out. Anybody else?
Call on.
Call on. Excellent, Laura's murder. The Prime Minister has called on the European Union to carefully consider, yeah, this is just like call for something, but call on somebody to do something, publicly demand. Okay, number 7, the pitch was soaked through. That's a good phrasal verb. It means completely drenched, soaking wet, really, really wet. The pitch was soaked through, so the referee had to call the match. What do you think, guys? Called off. Excellent. 3 people jumped in there for it. Manan and Human and Laura's murder. You're all right. It's the referee had to call off the match. Okay. And number 8, the survivors of the crash had to call all their strength to make it through the harsh conditions of the freezing mountains. That they managed to hold out for so many weeks demonstrates that courage must have won out over desperation. So quite a few phrasal verbs there. You can see in this book, I try to remind you all the time of the old phrasal verbs, and that's why I'm putting them in there. And I know it still sounds natural because it always sounds natural to use phrasal verbs. So what do you think for number 8, guys? The survivors of the crash had to call... Any ideas? There's a couple of different answers here, actually, that would work.
Could call up work.
Had to call up all their strength. It wouldn't be my first choice, but I must admit I don't hear an error there. Had to call up most of their strength. And I suppose it's because you can say conjure up, certainly. Had to conjure up. Oh, sounds a bit strange, actually. No, I do prefer call on. When you call upon or on inner resources, you could say forth, though. They had to call forth all their strength. That would work as well, forth, if anybody was thinking that. But you call on inner resources when you're in trouble. You know, you need to call on all your strength or call upon all your strength, meaning try to make that strength come to the surface. Yeah, call on or call forth certainly works here. Okay? And call upon, but I must admit I don't hear anything wrong with up. Had to call up. It's not the most common though. It would be rare. It would be rare, something like that. Okay. Okay. If everybody understands, that's great. If anybody has any questions, now is the time to ask them because I'm gonna switch off any second. But yeah, thanks for everybody for coming. We'll carry on doing a lot of these phrasal verb classes because I think they're useful for making sure the phrasal verbs all start to sink in. Yeah? Okay, so...
Yeah, right. Thanks for your lesson, Dave. Thanks.
You're welcome, Massey. You're welcome. You're welcome, Uliana. I will see you all tomorrow, I imagine. Yeah, at some kind of time.
Thank you.
What day is it tomorrow? It's
Thank
Saturday.
you so much, Dave.
That's okay, Ulfa. That's okay. So tomorrow I've got a lesson at...
Yeah, because I hear you clearly. The connection, I guess.
It's better now, actually. You're coming through very clearly.
I got it.
Yeah. You're coming through very clearly at the moment, no problems at all. I think sometimes it's just in the first few seconds when you arrive that there tends to be problems. But anyway, tomorrow's Saturday, so I've got a 10:30...
Means math.
Sorry? So tomorrow's Saturday, guys. I've got a 10:30 lesson with Solino. You're welcome. I've got a 10:30 lesson with a guy in Brazil, a doctor in Brazil. And so I won't be here at 10:30, but I think I'll be here a bit earlier simply because Zhenya, who I usually teach on Saturday mornings, he's having a party with his dad. Excellent. I think he's trying to have a party before all of the lockdown starts going on, which is coming very soon. So get out there and enjoy yourself before somebody tries to spoil your fun. But I will probably be here at about 9 a.m. tomorrow, maybe 9:30. Okay, so if anybody wants to come along to the live class, that's all they got to do. They got to turn up and speak up. That's all you got to do. Okay, see you all tomorrow.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Mm.